Hi, my question is for both y'all as actors as well as your characters on the show. So for your characters, who do you think was the hardest character for them to lose, and who was the hardest actor to lose off of set?
The hardest character for Dean to lose was Sam. Obviously. He got him back, so the show could continue. But that was certainly a difficult one. And there's also one coming up that's pretty difficult.
Just take it easy.
No, it really is. And as far as losing an actor on the show, we've had so many. I mean, there's a laundry. In fact, just recently, Andrew, our showrunner, we're talking about the next season and what kind of story. And I don't think he really meant it, but he was like, yeah, if you guys, if there's characters or that you guys want to, maybe revisit, let me know. He's going to do whatever he wants. He's not going to discuss. But that got me thinking, and I actually went through and literally compiled a list of actors that we worked with and on the show, and it was unbelievably long. And it just got me thinking, like, wow, we have been so fortunate to have this many amazingly talented people, but also people that we consider friends, and made us better as actors working with them. I mean, I just got a wonderful voicemail from on my birthday from Tim Amundsen, and I love that. And then again, the list goes on and on. It would be very difficult to pick.
Yeah, so I feel like the obvious answer for Sam is losing Dean, but trying to go outside of family. I think it was really difficult for Sam to lose. Again, he came back, but to lose Bobby. I feel like Bobby was the first kind of father figure other than his brother. So that was difficult. But on a weird note, and this character has been in one episode, but this was difficult for Jared and Sam to lose because he hasn't been back. Sully. It was a cool opportunity to show sort of the, Sam's literally been down and back. He's been Lucifer, he's been Gadriel, he's been Ezekiel, he's been Meg, he's been a lot of different soulless and blue. But I feel like it was such an interesting opportunity to kind of be able to be vulnerable and open with somebody who's not family or who doesn't possess you. So I think that was rough for Sam and Jared. And I've been trying to get him back, so fingers crossed. And the second Ruby chick, I kind of done. I don't remember. Yeah, she's pretty hot.
What was it like filming that scene in Prophet and Lost? That scene at the end where you punched Ian in the face and then pulled him up? I have to say that was a very, very, very powerful scene. And you
Thank you. There are a few people who know this from earlier today. My experience. So I've done like 360 episodes of television. I've never gone home and cried myself to sleep from shame and disappointment until that night. Not a word of a lie, and I think he can vouch for me. For some reason, the words wouldn't, it's never happened to me. Like, I'm a professional, I'm a craftsman, and I'm very proud of my professionalism. I like to mess around and have fun, but I've never had a moment where, literally, like, I can tell I've worked with this guy for thousands of days, right? So he's like, you good, man? You're good. Like, you got it, you got it. And I knew that I was kind of messing up. Tom Wright, like I literally ran off set when the scene was over. I've never in my life not been able to
Yeah, he couldn't, the words and the actions just weren't syncing up. And I again, like he said, I've worked with this guy more than anyone in my life, and I've never seen a moment like this with him. I've seen it in other people, but Jared has never not been able to get the work done, and he couldn't do it. Like something wasn't connecting in his brain, and so much so where I was like, "Did you take something? Did you take did you take some like cold medicine, or did something you eat? Are you having a reaction?" Like it was that weird, and he couldn't make the connection to the words. And so we get into the scene, and it was supposed to be an emotional scene, obviously. And he wasn't able to, A, find the emotion, B, connect the words to the emotion, and then C, connect all that to the action that he was supposed to be doing, like the shoving me and stuff like that. And it was all just, and I just watched him, and he was just spiraling. And I tried to grab him and be like, hey, take it easy, you got this. What's happening? You're fine. Go walk it off. And nothing was happening. And at that point, I knew nothing that I could say was going to help this situation. It was just kind of like, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And so everybody, even the crew, I walked back to the crew, and the crew's like, what's happening? Because he's like pacing, in the parking lot, looking at his script and like trying to go over the lines. I'm like, I don't know, whatever it is, just let him work through his process. I was like, is something going on at home that I don't know about? And he's like, no, nothing is, he's like, I just can't do it. And it was awful not just for him, but for everybody there to watch somebody who's so solid every day in and day out. The guy is a machine. Again, never not able to do the work. And he just couldn't do it. I felt the same way I did when I saw Rob in the hospital after his stroke, and he couldn't speak. And it was just like, you know he can, but it couldn't happen. It was heartbreaking. Luckily, I think some of that frustration, or a lot of that frustration, made its way into the performance, and he finally put in an amazing performance, I thought. That And that hug at the end was a little more Jensen hugging Jared than it was Dean hugging Sam. So that was, but hey buddy, we made it. And just to be clear, it has never happened since. I don't know, it was just a fluke. It was a unicorn. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
I didn't mean to bring up all that emotion, but
No, thank you.
No, it's good.
I can't tell at all that you were struggling with it, but it's like you feel it.
Yeah, well, you know what? Thanks, Ackles. I'll say this. This is, and people ask me this sometimes, and I can't really elocute like how, I can't properly put into words or quantify the way I feel about y'all, about this guy, about these guys and gals. And, that was the lowest point in my career, honestly. Like I've never been to work and been like, I knew the words, I felt literally like I was like, this isn't a joke, like I had a stroke. Like the words wouldn't come out of my mouth.
You remember saying this, you're like, this is like a bad dream I'm having. I'm living a bad dream right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like
and
that.
Then it was like, okay, well we have 4 more hours to go to shoot this scene. And I'm like, I'm having a fucking nightmare. Like, in front of everybody, in front of the crew. They all want to go home. It's midnight. We should wrap by 1 a.m., but I can't say my lines, so they're going to be up till 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. waiting for me to do my job. It's never happened before. Never, ever, ever, ever. and it hasn't happened since. It was a nightmare, but the sheer fact that you're coming up here for the first time since it's aired to like compliment us on the scene is just the sign of why we are a family. You know, like this is why we come here. You know.
Did that feel good to get out?
No, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, man.
We got your back. We love you.
I did.
You nailed it, Jared.
Thank you guys. And that certainly with the fishing expedition, thank you guys so much. Yeah. Hi. You want to talk about baseball? Please. And this, I think I said this in an interview, so this made it like Entertainment Weekly, so I don't feel bad talking about it. But when I first found out about Supernatural, Eric Crickey, who I had never met, was like they sent him some tape or something of me as Gilmore Girls, the original one. But I think apparently.
Wait. I didn't feel like I got it the first time.
Apparently, Crickey's response was like, "Nah, we want an intellectual. We want somebody who's intelligent."
Well, they really swung and missed on that one, didn't they? See, they're there with the
Well done.
Thank you. You know, I was coming here this morning and I got in the elevator and...
It made sense. There was no punchline. Damn you, Steve Norton. Damn you, Norton. The shooting stuff, all the stuff that I had said, the baseball stuff, nothing. I hate you. Damn it. Yeah. I forgot. I'm looking for a rim shot. Take it easy. That's the most ridiculous sound effect ever. Yes, so Sterling would be great. I'm going to be quiet. Just for a moment, don't worry.
He's never had to exhibit back by himself, man.
Hi, what's your name?
I am Teresa Van from Alabama.
Teresa Van. Go Alabama. All right, so you are our last question. So as is our wont, we bring you up and try to let you see the Supernatural family. Can we have some house lights? Just kidding.
It's your birthday?
It sounds so cool to me. Oh, look at that. It happened. Look, so hi, guys. Is it actually someone's birthday? No way! It is Teresa's birthday. So, the last question in Nashville. Don't mess this up. Say yes to your birthday. Just yet. What's your...
Well, you may regret that.
Oh, God. I already regret it.
Well,
So the 8th inning, usually.
well, we're in Nashville. I'm from Alabama. You're very close to the state line. There is a YouTube video of Jensen singing Sweet Home Alabama.
And she's going to do it again right now. As a happy birthday as anybody could ever get.
That was the best! Well done! Thank you.
After doing that just then, I could really see how that would have felt awkward.
But the good thing is Rob hides it well. He's just sobbing. This is usually the part of the program where I say goodbye, but instead of saying goodbye, I'm going to say, Mr. Eccles, you, my friend, recently had a birthday. One more time for the birthday song, please. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear person. Happy birthday to you. I'm going to make it official. Nashville, please say thank you and goodbye to Mr. Jensen and Garrett.
Superman or Batman?
Superman.
Superman or Batman?
Batman.
Vampires or werewolves?
Werewolves.
Vampires or werewolves?
Ugh. Jello.
Luke Skywalker or Han Solo?
Skywalker. Han Solo.
You know that Jared picked Luke Skywalker. Scotch or beer?
Scotch.
Scotch or beer?
Depending on what mood I'm in.
Van Helsing or Van Halen?
Ooh, I'll go with Van Halen. I gotta go Van Halen on that.
Science fiction or slash fiction?
Science fiction. Slash fiction.
Dr. Oz or the Wizard of Oz?
Dr. Oz. Wizard of Oz is pretty trippy. I'm gonna go Wizard of Oz.
I like it. Again, Jared picked Dr. Oz for unknown reasons. Absent father or wayward son?
Wayward son. Wayward son.
Boxers or briefs?
Boxer briefs.
Boxers or briefs?
The boxer briefs. Ha! Hybrid. Boom!
You guys
suck it.
Who's a bigger heartthrob? I mean, hero.
out of who and who?
Out of Sam and Dean.
I'll go with Dean. He's so cute. Well, I think Sam's probably the heartthrob. Dean's definitely the hero.
Fantastic. Well, you know what? It's true that the Supernatural boys are super friggin' nice. Thank you so much.
All right, now get the hell out of here.
I give you a big hug.
Dean's Dean's quite a character. It's definitely fun to play. He, you know, he's a bit cocky, a bit arrogant, a bit of a womanizer, and we like to compare the Sam and Dean character to, and this kind of goes along with the whole mythological aspect of the show, towards kind of like a Luke Skywalker and a Han Solo, in just that mythology of you know, reluctant heroes and you know, bruised and battered heroes, and I think Dean definitely wears the scars and the beat up shield and the you know, the wisdom and the everything that he's learned on his chest, but you know, he's also first to fire off the shot and come in guns blazing and think about what he's doing later. Well, we have a lot in common. Jared and I come from a very similar background. We're both Texans. We both come from a you know, really strong family, and so it was easy right off the bat, kind of falling into, you know, into step with him, and that I think has been quite an attribute to the show. The fact that he and I have gotten along so well, and you know, we've been told that by the producers, that it's like, oh, we've never worked with cast that's got along this well, and it helps the show. I mean, because you know, you find that the relationships that you build off screen really have an impact on what you do on screen, and I think that's definitely the case here. So it's I think we're both quite fortunate to have that.
So, in Japan, the series is dubbed.
Okay.
And there's a famous Japanese actor whose name is Ainu-i-sen. Ainu-i-sen.
Ainu-i-sen.
So, could you just say to Mr. Ainu-i-sen a little message? And maybe you'd like to say, like, Konnichiwa, Ainu-i-sen.
That was Ainu, what did it say again?
Ainu-i-sen.
Ainu-i-sen. Is he doing Dean?
Yes, he is.
Ah. Ainu-i-sen. Konnichiwa. I hope you have so much fun doing Dean, as much fun as I do portraying him, and keep up the good work.
Well, my character Sam in Supernatural is the classic reluctant hero. He's a character almost out of mythology, like Luke Skywalker in Star Wars or Neo in The Matrix. He's this guy who wants to be normal and who thinks he's just perfectly normal, but he's been set in these really weird situations, and he's living this life that people don't lead. You know, I mean, he knows things that nobody else knows. He knows what's hiding in the corner, and he knows what could be in the closet, and you know what was in the corner, what was in the closet, and so he just really wants to be a normal guy, a normal kid, go to law school, you know, have a girlfriend and a dog and 2 kids and a happy little house and a happy little lawn and mow his grass every Saturday, you know. But unfortunately, he has these powers and he has these abilities. So much like Luke Skywalker and much like Neo, he sort of understands that he has to accept the responsibility and go out and fight for what he knows is right. I have a great time working with Jensen. He and I get along really well, and I really lucked out. I've worked with a lot of people who I haven't not gotten along with, but haven't gotten along with as well as I get along with Jensen. And he's a laid-back, easygoing guy. He's from Texas. I'm from Texas. We both, you know, like the same kind of music and playing the guitar and watching similar movies and playing video games or whatever, having a beer and watching a football game. And it's just been really good. He's got a good sense of humor, and it's fun to kind of tease him, and he teases you back, and you'll tease him back, and he'll tease you back. It's a good rapport, and I think it keeps things light on set, and I think that's really important because, especially since he and I are the only 2 actors, if we didn't get along, you know, you've heard the terrible horror stories about, you know, directors and producers quitting because the actors don't get along and they're just making it miserable for everybody else. And I think we understand that we have a big responsibility, but also we're having a great time doing it. And you know, he's really grateful for the position he's in, as am I, and I think that makes things work out. Hey, Rumiya-san.
Can I just stop you? It's
sure.
Narumiya.
Narumiya?
San, yeah.
Say it again?
N-A.
Na, okay, I didn't hear na.
Narumiya-san.
Okay. Hi there, Narumiya-san. This is Jared, and I heard you're going to be voicing me, so I hope you enjoyed as much as I did voicing it in the first place.
Hi, my name is Dawn, and I'm a huge Supernatural fan. Hi. I was wondering, when the series does come to an end, will you be involved in writing the final episode, or have a say how it all gets wrapped up?
That's a hard question. I want to. I really want to. I don't know. There starts to get like rules and laws. Like I've had Sony down and Warner Brothers are not let me. But if there's a way to do it, I do want to be involved with it. Thank you. Yeah.